What's going on, y'all? I'm KM Best. Second Dinner just announced that they're going to be changing Kitty Pryde and mega refunding anyone who bought her. Let's go through their statement and see what we think of the new Kitty Pryde changes. So what they said was the recent release of Kitty Pryde did not go according to plan, and we will be compensating all players to thank you for your patience during this process. Shortly after the card was enabled on live servers, we saw reports of some game-breaking issues. We disabled the card from being played in any matches, being purchased in the token shop, or collected from the collection level track until we could find a solution. Since then, we've been exploring fixes for Kitty Pryde's multiple issues. However, we found that in order to do so, it would involve fundamental changes to our current game engine. Instead of modifying the entire game's rule set or releasing a partially bugged card, what we're doing is we're reworking Kitty's design to satisfy her existing gameplay synergies and goals in a simpler way. So, Kitty Pryde will no longer return to your hand on command. The previous design was a 1-0 that can return to hand to gain +2 power. Now, it's a 1-0 that gains +2 power when it comes back to hand, and it returns at the start of every turn. So what I'm interested in knowing is, previous Kitty Pryde, when it returned to your hand from something like Beast or Falcon, does not gain that 2 power. But now it says, when this returns to your hand, it will gain +2 power. So I think the Beast and Falcon synergy is now very much even more alive than it was. The issue is it's not actually doing much for you because she's returning every turn regardless, right? So, you play her, you beast her back, you're not ever going to actually have a chance to get that extra 2 power. It's just that you get her to 0 with the beast. That should work at the very least. Now, one of her other main synergies was with Wave, and I'm interested to see if Wave ends up being a synergy that she still has, because if Kitty Pryde is played alongside Wave, the way she used to work was she would cost 1 if she was on the battlefield. When Wave was played, then you'd bring her back to your hand, she'd still cost 1 even on the Wave turn. I'm interested to see if that kind of interaction is still in the game. That's one of the things that I'm definitely focused on. So let's look at the other half of their statement where they talk about compensation. And this is going to be big news for anyone who bought Kitty Pryde, like your boy, because I bought Kitty Pryde basically immediately. I loved her, but I did know that there were a lot of bugs with her. I was like, this is worth it. I'm going to do it. And I think they're going to make it worth it for me, because they're saying we need a bit more testing time to verify that everything is functioning as expected. Kitty Pryde will be returning to the game in our May patch approximately 4 weeks from tomorrow. We recognize that this has been a frustrating experience for everyone, especially for players that purchased Kitty Pryde before she was disabled and haven't had access to 6,000 tokens, because those people, they invested those 6,000 tokens in Kitty Pryde, like your boy, and then thus haven't had those 6,000 tokens. So for those people, they're going to refund the following things. 8,000 tokens. So not just the 6,000 that we spent on Kitty Pryde, but 2,000 more. A Kitty Pryde avatar. And this is the big one. In the May patch, everybody will get Kitty Pryde for free. So I think that is super, super dope. I think that covers probably 90 to 95% of all the cases you'd want to cover here. I do want to note that it is possible that there are going to be people who, say, had her pinned or were saving for her that are not receiving this compensation. But that said, they are receiving her for free anyway. So I'm not sure how big of an edge case that is. I'm definitely happy with the level of compensation. For someone like me, getting 8,000 tokens, super dope. I would love to have those 8,000 tokens back. I would love to... I would have loved some earlier communication on this, I think, would be my one major note, is this is a really good thing. They are being very generous with what they are giving us here, but the fact that there was no communication beforehand does seem like an issue that could be solved. I know asking about Kitty was a big deal, and the fact that they did everything right here, it's just they could have said, hey, there's going to be some issues, there will be compensation, don't worry about it, and then followed through with this, and then everyone who said, oh, they're just saying there'll be compensation, it'll suck, would have kind of looked like an idiot with egg on their face. I think that I'm generally very happy with how they handled this in terms of the mechanics of it. Changing Kitty Pryde to be different sucks, but I get it. It's also, I think, if it is a little bit of a nerf, I do kind of think it is, and if it is, it brings her more in line with the other 1-drops, because after the Sunspot nerf, her being pretty much clearly the best 1-drop in her old form is definitely something people should have been paying more attention to. I mean, I think she was far and away the best one drop if they left her alone. So the fact that now, you know, you have to play a 5 and Kitty on the final turn is interesting unless you beast her. Definitely worth paying attention to. As far as the overall impact on the game, I do hope that this level of generosity is not like a one-off. The last time we saw this level of generosity was with the Nexus events. One thing that should be praised about Second Dinner is that when they make a mistake, they make sure they make it right to you. And I definitely feel as though they have made it right to me here. I can't wait to rock that Kitty Pryde avatar. It's like the I Survived Nexus events title. It's going to be great. What do you think about the Kitty Pryde nerf? What do you think about the Kitty Pryde compensation? And what do you think about the fact that everyone is going to be getting Kitty Pryde once that May patch hits? I'm interested to hear what y'all think. Let me know in the comments below. As always, this has been KM Best. I'll see you next time.